Welcome to Mission U, where we answer your questions about scripture, theology, and faith. In this episode of the Mission U Mailbag, we've got a great question. We're going to be answering this question that we recently received. Are dinosaurs a problem for the Bible? Often, people see the fossil record of dinosaurs and wonder if the reality of dinosaurs conflicts with or creates a problem with the Bible. And, as a kid, I loved dinosaurs. My first very favorite book was a dinosaur book. I love the movie Jurassic Park. I think I've watched it like 1,000 times. So, of course, I love this question. So, what about dinosaurs and the Bible? Well, to tackle that, let's break it down into smaller questions. First question, does the Bible use the word dinosaur? Well, no, because the word dinosaur was not created until 1841. Famous English paleontologist Sir Richard Owen actually coined the term not long after the first dinosaur fossils were recognized and unearthed. The word dinosaur means terrible lizard. But of course, we would not expect this word dinosaur to be used in the Bible. The Bible also doesn't mention the word kangaroo either, but that doesn't mean the Bible didn't think kangaroos are real. Second question, do Christians believe dinosaurs existed? Well, yeah, of course. Sometimes people get this confused, but science and faith, they're not contradictory camps. They are complementary inquiries that answer different sets of questions. We actually recently did a whole video on this question of science and faith. And hey, as we get going on this question, make sure to subscribe to this channel and check out more videos just like this. Third question, who created dinosaurs? Well, Genesis chapter 1 tells us that on the fifth day of creation, God created all living creatures in the sea and in the sky. So this would have included now extinct marine reptiles like plesiosaurs, and it would have included flying dinosaurs like pterodactyls. Then on the sixth day of creation, God created all living animals on land, all creatures on land. So this would have included dinosaurs we know like Brontosaurus and Stegosaurus. Just like any living or extinct animal, God created dinosaurs. Fourth question, did dinosaurs evolve into existence or eventually evolve now into birds? Well, it doesn't look like it from the scientific standpoint. Macroevolution, meaning evolution that creates new species, did not create dinosaurs. If you're curious about this, you can go down a rabbit hole of research online looking into the total lack of intermediary species. Of course, in evolutionary theory, a dinosaur might have been claimed to have slowly evolved into a bird, for example, through millions of years of various intermediary species. But while we've had thousands of fossils from over 700 species of dinosaurs found, well, there is not a single fossil of a definitive, transitional, or intermediary species. Evolution did not create dinosaurs. God did. Fifth question, does the Bible include any references to dinosaurs? Well, actually, it might. I'm not sure, but it might. There are a few words that Scripture uses in a few passages that could be interpreted as discussing dinosaurs. Let me give you a few examples. Job 40 tells us this, behold, behemoth, which I made as well as you. He eats grass like an ox. Behold his strength in his waist and his power in the muscles of his belly. He hangs his tail like a cedar. The tendons of his thighs are knit together. His bones are tubes of bronze. His limbs are like bars of iron. Now, some people interpret this animal as a hippopotamus, which seems obviously incorrect since hippos have a hilariously tiny tail. It's not like a tree of cedar. Other people interpret the passage as God speaking only symbolically. Yet it also would certainly fit the description of a dinosaur. Another passage is Job 41. Can you drag out Leviathan with a fishhook and press down his tongue with a rope? Can you put a rope in his nose and pierce his jaw with a hook? Now, this word Leviathan means a sea monster or a sea serpent. The word is used again in Isaiah 27. On that day, the Lord will punish Leviathan, the fleeing serpent, with his fierce and great and mighty sword. Even Leviathan, the twisted serpent, and he will kill the dragon who lives in the sea. Again, it's actually hard to know exactly what God is talking about here. God could be just kind of talking symbolically about Satan, or he could be talking about what we think of as a sea dinosaur, like the 15-ton Elasmosaurus, which then God would be using that dinosaur as a symbol. Then we have the word dragon. In the Greek, in the New Testament, the word drakon is used 13 times. This is often translated into English as the word dragon. In the Hebrew, we have the word tanin. Depending on which translation you're using, this word does get translated sometimes as dragon and other words at other times. And the word shows up 15 times in the Old Testament. So we have 28 occurrences of these two words, drakon in Greek and tanin in Hebrew in the Bible. Okay, so track with me. Track with me historically on this. The first big English translation of the Bible was the King James Version, published in 1611. But the word dinosaur was not coined until 1841. And dinosaur fossils were not officially recognized until just a few years before that. Meaning the historical precedent on how to interpret these words into English was set before the word dinosaur was a word. The people who had made that translation were born in the 1500s. So in a way, you're just kind of coming out of that mythology of medieval Europe, a mythology of knights and dragons that knew nothing of dinosaurs. Okay, so are you tracking? These two words are used primarily in Isaiah and Revelation, books of prophecy and symbolism. Okay, so wrap your mind around this. Could it be that the only reason we're reading the word dragon in English is that we are just reading a medieval European mythological interpretation of the word? Could it be that when God used this word, he actually was not referencing a mythological idea of dragons, but a historical idea of dinosaurs? These terrible lizards that he created, but that the first English biblical translators had no reference for. It seems plausible to me. Not for sure, but plausible. So does the Bible reference dinosaurs? Well, I don't know for sure if any of these references are definitely about dinosaurs. But what I do know is that it seems obvious that there was someone inspiring the writing of Scripture who knew about these huge ancient creatures we call dinosaurs. What I do know is that the Bible seems aware of these incredible creatures that God created. Sixth question, when did dinosaurs live? Well, this is where the conversation diverges, okay? There are two interpretations on this, and your interpretation will depend on a completely different conversation on young versus old Earth. We actually just had a video on this, so if you haven't watched that video, please pause this one now and watch that video on how old the Earth is in young versus old Earth. But briefly, Christians who hold a biblical young Earth view believe the Earth and the universe are about 6,000 years old, and that the Earth was created in 6 literal 24-hour days. While Christians who hold a biblical old Earth view believe the Earth could be billions of years old and that Genesis chapter 1 points to God creating all things in 6 symbolic days, or 6 ages. So if you're a young Earth creationist, you're going to believe that God created dinosaurs along with all other species of animals about 6 to 20,000 years ago, but that they went extinct some point since. But if you are an old Earth creationist, you will likely believe dinosaurs lived millions, hundreds of millions of years ago and went extinct about 65 million years ago. Seventh question, did humans live at the same time as dinosaurs? Well, like the last question, this depends on your opinion about young versus old Earth. If you are a young Earth creationist, you will believe that yes, humans and dinosaurs lived at the same time. They coexisted. Young Earth creation points to a number of ancient human carvings and depictions of dinosaurs as historical archaeological proof that humans and dinosaurs coexisted. Also, if you're a young Earth creationist, you'll believe modern scientific dating is incredibly unreliable. They also point to the nearly universal cultural concept of dragons. Now, often because we are so familiar, I know me, we're so familiar with the Jurassic Park version of dinosaurs, we think that, man, this view is impossible. We would all just get eaten up. I mean, how could humans live alongside a T-Rex? However, most dinosaurs were much, much smaller. In fact, the average size of a dinosaur was about the size of a car or a cow. And 2/3 of dinosaurs were omnivores, or plant eaters. So it is not impossible that humans lived alongside dinosaurs. However, if you're a subscriber to the old Earth theory, the conversation is really different. In this case, you likely believe dinosaurs went extinct due to a cataclysmic event like a volcanic eruption or a meteor, and that God created humans only after that event, meaning dinosaurs and humans never coexisted. 8th question. What happened to dinosaurs? Meaning, how did they go extinct? Again, your opinion on this will likely depend on your opinion on young versus old Earth. If you hold to a young Earth opinion, you will likely believe that during the Great Flood, the flood in the biblical book of Genesis that describes Noah surviving the flood with his family. If this is your opinion, you will likely believe that most of the dinosaurs died out during that flood, about 4,300 years ago. And you will point to various archaeological findings about some dinosaurs dying through drowning in various places around the world in a flood or floods. However, if you hold to an old Earth opinion, you will likely believe that dinosaurs, they went extinct through a volcanic or meteor event about 65 million years ago. 9th question. Were there dinosaurs on Noah's Ark? Meaning, when Noah gathered 2 of every species of animal during the Great Flood, were there actual dinosaurs on his ark? Well, in one sense, yeah, there were animals from the dinosaur period on the ark. I mean, there are several animals that exist today that existed all the way back then, regardless of how you date it. Crocodiles, snakes, bees, sharks, sea creatures like horseshoe crabs and lobsters, various platypus and sea turtles. They've all been proven to have existed alongside dinosaurs, regardless of how long ago you believe that occurred. So in one sense, yeah, of course, some animals from the age of dinosaurs did make it onto Noah's Ark. Now, if you are a young earther, you will likely believe that specific dinosaur species were taken onto Noah's Ark in an infantile form for the sake of space, but soon after they went extinct. However, if you are an old earther, you will believe that dinosaurs, as we think of them today, went extinct before Noah and his ark. So, in the end, how do we make sense of the Bible and dinosaurs? Well, this is our answer to 9 of the most frequently asked questions. Yes, it is complicated, but it's also incredibly interesting. But also, to the question of if dinosaurs are a problem for the Bible, if they contradict the Bible, well, absolutely not. Actually, the Bible seems to be aware of dinosaurs. The Bible seems to be clear that God created dinosaurs and knew about him when he was inspiring Scripture. So back to our big question, do dinosaurs conflict with or create a problem with the Bible? Well, no, they absolutely don't. Absolutely not. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button below this video on YouTube. Like this video, share it so others can see more videos like this on Mission U. Thanks for watching this video brought to you by Mission U